Welcome and thank you to all who have taken the time to come out tonight. Staff who have watched us grow, teachers who have taught us numerous and intriguing things, and parents who are here to help commemorate the commitment their child is given in this 3 or more year effort. While reflecting over the 3 years I spent at school here, I recall that I had never actually even heard of CSCA before coming to the school. Now, however, I can genuinely say that this school is an unforgettable experience. That good?
Yeah, and you should also look to the audience once in a while.
Yeah, she keeps looking at me, so I was just trying to get her to stop doing that. Yeah.
Not only to one person, but to, you know.
Well, she already knows that, so.
Okay.
She's already been taught that.
Well, I have to, do it over and over to, remember kind of what okay. I don't like the way I worded some things. I started here with a complete fear of everything, especially with being shy. Keep looking at you. I was afraid I would never be able to find my group. It took a while to understand the effort in having to face such a task, but in the end, I learned that all it takes is to find your place if you put yourself out there. To be brave. Maybe I didn't word that right. I learned that all it takes to find your place is to put yourself out there. To be brave. Maybe even impulsive. I learned all anything really takes is enough effort and motivation. Those you will find will accept you for yourself. For me, it's a little hard to remember back 2 years, but there are a select few things I remember significantly. I remember making really amazing friends with these flowerful personalities. I remember having my first science fair and going in head first, not even knowing what this thing called a scientific method was. Most importantly, I remember having to deal with the end of 6th grade in the pandemic, having to have the attention span for online assignments and Zoom classes. Despite the 6th grade year, the next year was the best for me. That good?
You're going too fast.
How do you not go fast?
And you forgot to look at the audience once in a while.
Walking into the big kids building. Walking into the big kids building with the scary 8th graders. Having new teachers and the material getting more difficult was hard. Having to find out I'd have to sit in the same room for all my classes for over half a year, with the same people, and on top of that, wearing masks, and on top of this, the room being hot and crowded was a hard challenge I had to overcome. We had to learn new, complicated subjects, but luckily we had teachers who cared enough about what they taught. If I could title last year, it had perseverance and commitment in big red letters. Having to spend 8 hours in one room learning all day was very exhausting, but persevering through it showed me you can really do anything with enough effort. The idea of how much harder 7th grade seemed over 8th grade, and having the commitment to care enough to do my work and try my best in interest and work ethic says it all. I often remember one of the most enduring, understanding, respectable, well-managed teachers I've ever met, or the memory of this one person who practically got me through the whole year. I remember Mr. Mazzoni teaching chemistry and me losing my marbles because what on earth is chemistry? And the memory of Miss Ross teaching historical things like World War I and II, and giving me my deep interest in anything from the 1900s. All things that carry with me now. That's still too fast.
You started off fine, and then you just sped up right away.
I don't know how to slow. This year is my favorite. Although we have,
You did fine in the beginning when you started that page, but then all of a sudden you got going and you just sped right up.
I'm gonna do horrible.
Wait, your teacher didn't correct that? That's kind of a long speech. It should be a summary.
It was already long.
No, she already shortened it.
Oh, really?
This year is my favorite. This year is my favorite. Although we had to deal with a lot of saying goodbyes. In lieu of this, I know it makes you a responsible person. I understand just how important it is to be prepared, to be able to improvise, to know what you're doing, and how you need to know to have respect and empathy when things aren't going your way. Despite the misfortunes, this year has been very enjoyable. I've made so many more friends, so sweet and loyal. They have always been there for me, and I wouldn't even be here, relatively happy without them. Other great things were my education. Allowing yourself to learn is sort of like a mango tree, if you will.
Much better.
The more you indulge The more you indulge your pick for, the greater quality and quantity you find. The faster you plan to pick ripe mangoes, the better you will find, and the better it will be for you. This year consisted of sitting after school with Miss Shepherd, sometimes taking time to look at my art or listen to what I have to say, and respecting my opinions and thoughts, sharing a common sympathy. Other times, me being impulsive and almost fully breaking from my show. Or things like walking into Miss Miller's room and always smelling like coffee or some other good scent. Or bearing with hard rules and having to think about others' point of view too. All these things have been spent learning, understanding, being guided, and so on. That's
doing good.
Okay. When someone mentions middle school, I often hear, "Oh yes, that is always the worst. There's always bullying, chaos. Junior high has always been the worst." But I don't exactly think that's right. It's what you make of it and your mindset. I think I've been able to look at experiences this year and move on, having learned at least something. Just like Eddie Van Halen said once, you only have 12 notes. Do what you want with them. However you interpret this, I do not care. But may you take this into consideration, because just like life, many things must be taken into... I read the right line. Because just like life, many things must be taken into consideration, and you choose what you want to do with what's given you, because someday it'll be limited. If you even care, a lot of what you learn in school isn't just from looking at a board and taking down notes, or blindly staring at a video being shown, which is what I realize now. When you take interest and effort, you will see where the benefits lie. Okay. Some of you I will never see again. Some I plan on seeing for the next 4 years of my life. If we were to walk out of these doors right now, never to come back, I'm not sure if I'd jump for joy or start sobbing. If I could sum up my middle school career and the outcome of it in a quote, I would with this FDR quote. Whatever way you walked out, note that the only thing you have to fear is fear itself. I like to think of what I did go through and enjoy at this school, and those of you who have been very kind, and the staff whose teachings will sit with me for a while. Au revoir, adios, goodbye, perhaps hasta la vista. Some of you may walk out of here very happy. Others may walk out with a tear in their eye. Either way, thank you for taking your time to attend, and have a lovely rest of your evening.
Okay, start over.
Yeah.